2025 FRC Kickoff. Thank you so much for being here. A quick thank you to all of our workshop leads that led the workshops a little bit ago. And now Michael McCabe is going to come up, and he is the RoboJackets president. He is a senior mechanical engineering major here at Georgia Tech. So if we can give him a warm welcome, please. Michael? Not here yet? Michael!
Robots fight.
Away we go. Wow.
Nice. It's fully mobile and the weapon is up to speed. Delicious machine.
Boing.
Wow. Set phenomenon careening.
Throws itself into the spinners. Goes into the pit. They got 10 seconds to somehow extract themselves.
All right. You guys hear me? Hopefully. Everybody ready for kickoff? All right. My name is Michael McCabe. I'm the current RoboJackets and a fourth-year mechanical engineering student here at Georgia Tech. I'm here to tell you a little bit about what RoboJackets does, how that builds off your FRC experience, and how we can help your teams in this upcoming season. So first, let's see here. There we go. Oh, that's way back. There we go. So RoboJackets is basically the hub for most of the competitive robotics here at Georgia Tech. We have 5 teams. So starting from the middle left there, we have BattleBots, which is we compete in 30-pound, 12-pound, and 3-pound weight classes. Just fight to the death, basically. Then up at the top, we have our Robo Wrestling teams. That's fully autonomous robot sumo wrestling. As you saw earlier, pushing people outside of the rings. We've got RoboNav, which competes at the University Rover Challenge, which does remote and autonomous control challenges. In the bottom right there, we have RoboCup, which is 6v6 autonomous soccer. Competes at the Robo Games events around the world. And then last, and my home team, the Robo Racing team in the bottom left there, is a fully autonomous time trial racing challenge. Now each of our teams, let's see, each of our teams is very similar internal structure to you guys' teams. We have the mechanical, software, and electrical sub-teams, and then a few of our 5 teams have science and research divisions, which helps them get a competitive edge over their competition. And then just like you guys, we also engage in a lot of outreach activities. I believe this is our 17th year hosting this event. You'll also see us at your competitions in various different roles and at local science fairs and the like, all in the pursuit of promoting, educating, and advancing the field of robotics. Now, being a GeorgiaFIRST alum, I know firsthand how amazing this FRC program is and what you can get out of it if you truly engage with it. The interpersonal skills and technical skills like leadership, teamwork, personal organization, your mechanical, electrical, and software design, that all plays a very valuable role in preparing you for whatever your future might hold. Now, a little bit more about, or some advice on how to get the most out of this experience. To any students, collaborate and rely on your teammates. This isn't a one-man game. That being said, don't be afraid to take initiative, explore new ideas in the mechanical and business side of your team. To everyone, in particular those on new teams, engage with the community. We're lucky to have such an amazing community here in the Peachtree District. Get out there and ask questions, whether that's at your competitions, the PCH Discord, Chief Delphi. You'll be surprised just how much information is out there and how far you can go if you utilize it correctly. The best teams in this game are the ones that learn the most year over year. To any rookie members and teams, ease into this. There's a lot going on in FRC. Set reasonable goals, learn the basics, improve on them later in the season, and that'll start you off from a better spot the next year. A simple, well-put-together bot that you don't have to or that you have time to tune and learn to drive before competition will get you really far compared to somebody that has half a dozen semi-functioning mechanisms that you're driving for the first time at competition. With all that being said, if you need any help in your design and build process, reach out to hello@robojackets.org. You can also find it on the website, and we'd be happy to set up a design review or consultation to get you going. But yeah, nothing left else to say except get out there, have a fun season, and I hope to see some of you here at Tech and RoboJackets in the future.
Thank you so much, Michael. Next up, we will have Shreyas Korsic, who is a PhD here at Georgia Tech in mechanical engineering, who's associated with IRIM, the Institute for Robotics and Machine Intelligence, and they are the ones that funded this event. So, thank you.
All right, how's everybody doing? You can hear me? Great. So, hi, I'm Shreyas. I'm an assistant professor here. I'm also a Yellow Jacket alum, so I'm really home, and it's very, very cool to be here. All right, let me find the clicker, sorry. There we go. This is amazing. You can get a PhD in mechanical engineering and still technical difficulties. All right, so it's part of the show. It's part of the show. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the point of this talk is we have a giant institute, IRIM, that is how all of our academic faculty and research faculty collaborate for robotics research. Georgia Tech is one of the most amazing places to do robotics research, and I'm very, very lucky to be here because we work at the cutting edge of robotics. So the point of this talk is really to show you a bunch of videos. If I could get the next slide. All right, so first you may ask, where are all the robots? And next slide. It turns out that they're everywhere. Next. All right. Perfect. So this is an overview of Georgia Tech's campus, where you're right in the middle right now in the Ferst Center, and there are robots everywhere. Who has seen a little delivery robot? Yeah. So it's like not just in the red circles, they're everywhere. That is not actually a research project, that is a commercial product. But it's very exciting because basically what this means is that as you have discovered or will discover, robotics is extremely interdisciplinary. It's not its own department, it's a way of bringing together mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, computer scientists, and aerospace engineers, among many others. And this next slide is meant to overwhelm you with a wall of text. What do we work on? We work on everything. It's an absolute blast. If there's something related to robotics that you're interested in, it's happening here at Georgia Tech. And I'll go through a couple of videos of some of these applications. All right, so where do we do these things? One of the most exciting things about being at Georgia Tech is that we have facilities like the Aware Home. So it's a 5,000 square foot house, but it's fully instrumented for robotics. So we can actually deploy and test how robots could interact with humans in the home before we put them in your homes. Hopefully you find that reassuring. Similarly, we have the Robotarium, which is an open source basically way to test robot swarm algorithms, and I believe you could even run code on the Robotarium to test out how these little mobile robots could work together. And then finally, just as a fun example, we have a gate lab, which is actually kind of the core of what will grow into a larger robotics facility. But right now, what we have is a treadmill that can actuate in a bunch of different directions, and you can use that to study how humans or robots walk amongst a large variety of other facilities. So what do we actually do? Okay, this is going to be lots of cool videos of robots. First of all, one of the core things that we do in the Gate Lab is human augmentation, so wearable robots, or exoskeletons, as you may hear them often called. There's a huge mix from studying prosthetics, so replacing limbs, to just augmenting human motion. And if you've ever had the chance to be in or near an exoskeleton, it turns out that they're pretty much exhausting, except for when you're doing the specific thing they're designed for. So it's really, really exciting as a research problem because the seamless type of Iron Man suit that you might imagine as an exoskeleton is still quite far away, but we're some of the closest researchers to it, as far as I understand. This is great because it leads perfectly into how robots and humans could interact. So these are examples from Dr. Charlie Camp's lab, where you could see a robot helping a person who can't wipe their chin. And what's really amazing here, and maybe some of you will discover this in your first robotics experiences, is getting robots to interact with people, with soft objects, with stuff around the robot is extremely difficult. It's hard to model the physics. It's hard to get it to work safely. So that's where we're working, at the cutting edge of safety and human-robot interaction. Now, maybe a little near and dear to my heart, I've snuck one of my own videos in here. This general extension to interacting with the world has a ton of promising applications in agriculture. Here you'll see a variety of fruit picking, and in the middle, a flower inspection robot from my lab. This is a really, really hard problem because fruit are squishy, and the plants themselves are squishy and soft. So as soon as you have to mathematically model soft, squishy things, good luck. That's what our researchers, our PhD students and professors are working on extensively in agriculture. How do we inspect plants regularly? And how do we take on very labor-intensive tasks? For example, picking maybe 2,000 blackberries. Now, maybe you're not working in the fields or figuring out where your food comes from, but you do see robots around. We're working on this as well. So this is our Digit robot. It's a humanoid robot from Agility Robotics. And what you see on the left is a map of everywhere that it walked in this particular trial. Now, we have a mix of teleoperation and autonomy still, because these robots are, you should be very cautious of the hype that you see around. It's still very much a research problem to get humanoid robots to work. They'll do a really, really good job, but they might also fail unexpectedly. And a big part of our research here is to understand, can we predict when they're going to fail? Of course, there's no failure in this video. But the really cool part is we have the technology now to walk a robot around campus. Actually, the professor in charge of this, Ye Zhao, he and I recently had a paper accepted about getting this robot to navigate socially, so it's able to predict the motion of people around it and make socially reasonable decisions to make a safer human-robot interaction experience. Now, perhaps bipeds are not your thing. You're like, I need more legs in my robot. We have that too. So this is, I believe, from Sehun Ha's lab. Here, this is a unitree quadruped robot, fully autonomously navigating. So it's making all of its own decisions. And this is the very cool part, is once you have a robust way for a robot to walk around, then you can actually get it to do stuff. So in this case, just a bit of a sanity check, making sure it can avoid things, respond to its environment, detect changes in its environment, and make good decisions. One of the very cool things we've started to do, so this is just walking. We also have research in how these robots can sprint, jump, do tricks. In fact, I believe Sehun is even, so the professor in charge of this project is even having robots mimic how a human could move, or even mimic how a dog could move. So making them look more natural and making them basically fit into our lives better. All right, next, snuck another one of my own projects in. I don't know if anybody likes race cars, but I was very curious how you could make a robot race car that's safe. So my students and I created a mathematical proof, in this case of a drifting maneuver. Here you see multiple of the vehicle. This is a little robot car, and there's multiple of it overlaid on top of itself. The reason to show that is because this is telling you that we did it a bunch of times and it didn't crash any of those times. But the really cool thing is that we're able to mathematically show that a car doing an extreme sliding maneuver does not crash before we even put it out into the world. Hopefully you find this relevant. This is the core of my research, robot safety. And the most exciting part about it is that we can really go deep into the math that hopefully you all will explore as well as part of robotics. It starts with a mathematical foundation, then turns into code, and then finally you put on the hardware. But that core math can make you, can give you really, really powerful statements about how a robot will move through the world. Why is this useful, besides just doing cool stuff? So in this example, also from Ye Zhao's lab, we have Digit and then a drone, and the two robots are coordinating. In this case, the drone is able to be a spare set of eyes to look around obstacles. So in this case, it's checking if there's anything behind the door, and then once it says, nope, you're good to go, Digit is able to go through the door. Sure, it's a little contrived in this particular setting, but this is the very beginning of research into how robots could seamlessly team together in more realistic settings. All right, now hopefully nobody's squeamish. This next slide has a snake on it, so prepare yourself. But it's very cool because, as you see, this is a humanoid robot. It's bio-inspired. We have a lot of bio-inspired robotics happening, especially in mechanical engineering. Maybe some of you who have already built robots, like has anyone tried to like build a hand, any sort of realistic hand or arm? Was it hard or was it easy? Probably extremely hard. Getting robots to mimic biological motion is extremely difficult because fundamentally we have different types of like machine parts from how biological systems are put together. So to mimic these types of snake systems, you have to be very, very clever about the design of the actuation, the skin on the robot to make sure it can actually get traction on sand. The sealing, you have to make sure that the sand's not going to get into the robot. It's a one-way street there. But we're starting to make progress on how to mimic very complex biological systems. This is extremely important in settings, for example, in our collaboration with Boeing. So this is a multi-robot system where these robots are collaborating to help assemble as you can see, fuselage of a passenger jet. Now, one of the critical things that humans are really, really good at that robots are still not quite good at is just threading little tiny machine screws into tiny holes. That's a place where biological inspiration becomes very important. Another key aspect is how these robots would communicate with each other. Whether they're networked, they're speaking in natural language to also communicate with humans. And maybe I'll overwhelm you with a tiny bit of math here. This all falls under a broad umbrella of what's called constrained optimization. Here you have a big math problem, and the robot is solving this math problem over and over and over at a very fast rate to make sure it's able to operate safely and collaborate with its fellow robots. All right, now something we haven't talked about yet is how do these robots actually get any information about the world around them? Many of our researchers, such as Patricio Vela, for example, and I believe this is from Seth Hutchinson, have done a ton of research in vision-based control. So in this particular case, this is visual servoing. This is something that, I think we have this video so that this is something that if you had access to a robot arm or to one of your mobile robots, you would be able to implement. Basically, you can use OpenCV tools or common open source tools to get a robot to see simple shapes like circles, locate them in 3D space, and then track them, right? And this will, you're going to do this in FIRST Robotics, I am sure. The cool thing is that our research is now starting to go pretty far beyond this, to the point where maybe some of you have seen things like autonomous driving where the vehicle can detect cars around it, or as I mentioned earlier, our humanoid robot can detect people around it and help keep them safe by avoiding them. So this is the very, very early stages of vision-based control that you're seeing here, but we at Georgia Tech are pushing quite far along in what vision can do. Okay, the final slide here is a hype piece, but it's also really, really cool. Near and dear to my heart as a Georgia Tech alum.
is only one place where great students and advanced technology strike just the right note.
All right, cool. So what is actually cool, like going on under the hood here, just as a robotics nerd, I have to say a little bit more, that this is not just naively doing a demo, but these researchers in the School of Music in collaboration with roboticists and being roboticists themselves are designing systems where robots can interpret more than just human speech or eye contact or something like that, but in fact, in this case, autonomously generate improvisational music where they're physically interacting with an instrument. This is amazing. We're at the cutting edge of robots interacting with people across a wide variety of media. And hopefully this inspires you to think about different ways that robots could potentially be used in your lives, or maybe you'll just order delivery from Starship. All right. Thank you so much, and best of luck, everybody.
Let's thank our speaker again for a great presentation. Next up will be our giveaway, which is done by Automation Direction.
Good morning. I'm Chip McDaniel. I'm with Automation Direct. I'm also on the board of directors for GeorgiaFIRST. It's great to see all these familiar faces here. I'm excited for a new season. Before we start the giveaways, I wanted to, well, it looks like we've already started them, but yeah, congratulations to this first team. But wanted to let you know a little bit about who we are and what we do. We're an industrial controls company. We're based here in Georgia. We are very passionate about supporting Ferst Robotics. We put a voucher in the kit of parts for every team worldwide, and we give away a lot of fun stuff in Georgia. I try to attend most of the events here, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you at a future Georgia event. Come by the Automation Direct table and see some of the various toys that we offer, and maybe I can help you understand how they might help on your robot. So our first door prize today, we have 8 door prizes. We're going to give away 3 of them to get started right here. I've got a set of 1,200 zip ties. Woohoo! Seven screwdrivers. These are from Weha, a German company. They're very nice screwdrivers, both Phillips and slotted. And this white box is not all that sexy, but it does have a 4-piece plier set, including combination long nose, tongue and groove, and diagonal pliers. So, is Team 6925 in the house? Yeah. Woohoo! Come on down and get your prize. Thank you. Okay, second door prize. You might recognize this, 1,200 zip ties. We have another set of pliers and cutters. These are combination long nose and diagonal. There's 3 pieces in that set. And then we've got an L-key Torx set. 9 pieces, black laser steel, really nice Torx driver set. Okay, team 5828. Are you guys here?
Can you have them sort of venue crew access to have them go down the sides?
Oh, okay. Please use the sides if you are here, they don't like jumping on stage, I guess. Okay, not here. We will ship that one to that team. Okay, and Vanna, if you can, oh, sorry. Y'all all know what this is, right? 1,200 zip ties. Woohoo! And a 4-piece pliers and cutter set. similar to the earlier one. So that's for team 1795. Are we here? We will ship it to you at your build site. Thank you very much.
Thank you again to Chip for our giveaway with Automation Direct. Now we have Connie Hayes, who is the CEO of GeorgiaFIRST, and she's going to come up and speak. Everyone give her a warm welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our FRC teams. I'm going to start off by saying I do have a cough. I'm not contagious, but I'm going to try to get through this with a cough drop. So we're going to see how this works. But welcome to the 2025. Can you believe we're here? The 2025 kickoff of Reefscape. How many of you are excited about this game? Just the name of it. Pretty cool. Let me see if I can advance this, because obviously this has been a problem. Oh, there we go. So, technology. So this year for the 2025 season, we will welcome 75 teams from the state of Georgia. You notice a little dip in that number because we don't have our South Carolina folks with us this year. They have their own district. They came, they learned from you the best, and now they've started their own district in their state, and they're excited. So thank you for that learning opportunity for them. But 75 teams from Georgia will compete in 2025. We will again have 5 qualifier events here in our state, so you'll stay in the borders of Georgia, and 1 district championship. So today I want to welcome and thank you to our host of this event, our Georgia Tech RoboJackets, to all of our sponsors. I'm holding and I'll get them at the end. Perfect. Thank you. All of our sponsors, our GeorgiaFIRST Board of Directors, our local planning committees, our leadership team, our volunteers, the incredible volunteers, our mentors, teachers, coaches, and your parents. Let's give them a round of applause. And we want to give a big shout out to all of our colleagues down in Albany this morning that are hosting our second official kickoff for Georgia down at FRC Academy. So let's get really loud so they can hear us. And that's our Commodores team that are our hosts down there. So what is 2025 going to look like? You should know. You registered for these events. You should know where you're going. We just wanted to put this up to highlight for any parents maybe in the room, making sure they know where you're going, and to highlight that we do have a return to Gainesville. We did not have Gainesville last year or the year previous, but a return to Gainesville at Riverside and a brand new venue this year in Statesboro at Georgia Southern. I think you're going to like it. It's going to be a nice venue for us. So Gainesville, Dalton, Gwinnett, Statesboro, and Albany. And then we'll end that season with 45 teams getting bids to come to the state championship or our district championship here in Georgia with our amazing host at Mercer University down in Macon. And then a certain number of you, and I don't remember exactly what that number is, but it was published on an earlier blog for FIRST, will go on to the FIRST championship in Houston to represent our state. So we're going to go ahead and give you congratulations for the season because we know you're going to do fantastic and represent us well. So this next segment in my portion of the presentation is new, and we hope it will become a tradition that we do each year. And you'll notice that my presentation on the local side is a little shortened, and some of those slides that came out were in the rolling slide deck prior to our presentation beginning. But the reason we shortened it is we'd like to ask for each team present here in the auditorium today, we would like for you to send your team captain down to the stage for a presentation from our CTSO officers. So if you are a team captain, or if you have co-captains, send them both. Come in through the stairs on this side, but come join us on the stage. And while this impressive group is assembling on our stage, I would like to introduce your CTSO officers for 24-25 that will be representing FIRST robotics competition in the state of Georgia to the podium for this special presentation.
Hello, hello. Okay. Hey guys, are we all excited for kickoff? Yeah, we'll try to make this brief, get on with the official productions, podcast, all of that. But hey guys, I'm Karthik. I'm from team 5293. And I am your CTSO state president. Beside me are Avi, our VP of Innovation from team 2415. Zara from team 1683, our VP of Logistics. And Alessio, our VP of Sustainability from Team 6340.
So what is a CTSO? Again, CTSOs are different organizations that help high schoolers get career experience and real-world skills. Like FBLA, DECA, and TSA, FIRST is a CTSO organization that meets with representatives from the government, our sponsors, and other state officials to explain what we do, and we gather support for kind of our awesome organization.
The 2024-2025 CTSO board is dedicated to empowering teams by fostering meaningful connections within the FIRST community. We serve as a conduit between students, the FIRST administration, and external resources. We also facilitate connections between our teams and individuals across the community.
One of our focuses for this upcoming year is to empower our teams through leadership in our FRC community. Leadership is crucial in FRC in sharing responsibility, furthering collaboration, and ensuring productivity, all pushing for your team's sustainability beyond your own individual FRC journeys. Each FRC team is its own community, and applying good leadership is crucial to optimizing the resources you do have in order to stay afloat.
When we became CTSO officers, we were gifted this book, Stick Together, by the GeorgiaFIRST Board of Directors. We all learned something extremely valuable that we'd like to share with you today.
I learned that a productive team is one where everyone shares the vision that you as the team captain share. This was crucial in deciding our design for the 2024 game.
This book reminded me of the importance of creating not just a robotics team, but a robotics family. An effective community is one that's connected and trusts each other.
Something that I think that every FRC team can take away from this is that even though build season is incredibly stressful, you have an entire team around you that's going through the exact same thing, and if you stick together, you'll be able to come out on the other side with a better robot as opposed to being divided.
It made me think of a swerve drive. If one module isn't pulling its weight, the entire robot drifts, so make sure your team is aligned so you don't start spinning in circles.
So at this time, we would like to take the time properly to thank you, team captains, so much for all that you pour in. You each take extra care to ensure that each member of your team gets what everyone should deserve out of the FIRST community, that passion to go above and beyond and to strive for greatness. And we are truly grateful for the insane hours that we know you all put in. From the Georgia First Board of Directors and the CTSO officer team, we gift you this book in the hopes that you'll find creative ways to apply it to your student leadership in your FRC community and beyond. Audience, please join us in showing our appreciation to these awesome FRC students. Can we have them start coming off stage? Okay.
And guys, we want to get a photo, because remember, this is our first annual time doing a leadership segment. So on this side, if you guys will just follow through, we want to get 2 rows so we can get a quick photo with the CTSO officers. So on that end, come on up.
Sure. You're pretty tall, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody look this way, forward. Perfect. Thank you. Guys, go back off that way.
Whoever didn't get a book, are they needed up here?
No, you guys are good.
Are we good?
Yep.
Okay.
Again, if your team was not present or represented on the stage, we will make sure you will get your leadership book. We'll be sending those out. And if you didn't get it on the stage, it may actually come with your kit pickup in the back. So we're going to make sure all teams get that book. Don't worry. Okay, so just a few other things before we move on. Why did we invest in the leaders? Because you are leaders in no matter what area of your expertise is, and we are looking for that leadership to trickle down within your team and you leave a lasting legacy. As we move into this season, what happens if you need help? If you need questions answered, you need to make sure you're on the right track with some of your build or event questions that you have. You have an amazing resource in Miss Lisa Hatch. And I would absolutely, let's give her a hand. I would dare say that if you are a coach in this room, you have definitely heard from Miss Lisa Hatch. She is your one-stop resource to make sure your teams have what you need. We always encourage you, do not wait until the hole gets so deep that we have to send down a 12-foot ladder. Let us know at the 6-foot ladder, and we can get you out a lot easier. So always know, no wrong questions. We can help you with anything you've got. And just in the same vein of that, in the earlier slide deck, you saw that our next MAC, Mentor Advisory Council meeting, there was a date for that. You should have gotten something from the Peach Press on that. That's a little different for this one, that team members can be a part of that MAC call. And you're going to be hearing from your lead robot inspector, your lead referee, and the lead CSA on any updates that you need, and you can ask questions. So the date is on that. We'll roll it again as soon as we conclude here with our local. So best of luck to our teams for the 2025 season, from all of these people that behind the scenes work hard to make sure you have the best season that you can possibly have. And a huge thank you to the RoboJackets. Thank you, everyone. And I think we have another giveaway coming up. So let's see if we can get Mr. Chip back out here.
It's me again. Let's give away some more door prizes. So another 1,200 zip ties. Yep. And a metric bit driver and socket set. with Phillips Posidrive slotted Torx, tamper-proof Torx, internal hex and external hex tools. I didn't realize this earlier. You guys aren't seeing the winning numbers on your screen. I'm getting those here, and I just needed to mention that they're helpfully randomly generating the team numbers for me backstage. So, without further ado, the winner of this door prize is Team 9561. And I didn't see anybody jump up. Oh, they are here. Woohoo! If you could please use the stairs over there, I'll meet you on stage. All right, beautiful. Okay, we're switching it up a little bit now. This is 800 zip ties, but they're different colors. Different colors. And then we have a 4-piece plier set and a 6-piece precision screwdriver set. Little tweaker screwdriver. So let's see, the winning team here is 8872. 8872 in the house. Oh, I see somebody coming down. Is that our winner? I think it is. Good deal. All right, door prize number 6. Again, 800 multicolor zip ties. We have a three-piece plier set and a 14-piece screwdriver set with some stubby screwdrivers, which can come in quite handy. And the winning team number for this is 6887. 6887. I didn't see anybody jump up. If you are here, sing out. Otherwise, we will ship it to your build site. Thank you so much. I'll be back in a little bit.
Hello, back again. Here to tell you about how to get your kit of parts. It should be coming up here in a second. Or not. There we go. All right, so pick up your kit of parts. Go around to the backside of this first theater. Follow the map there. You can also find that on the RoboJackets website. Go to the FRC page at the top banner. Should take you right here near the bottom of the page. That starts at 12:45, goes till 2. Try not to hold out that long, though. Have an adult with you with an ID, have them come to the front, pick up your kit, and then you can have your team, only a couple people, get that from the dock after they've sort of checked it out. Yeah, if you drove a bus here, please pick up your kit before you start loading up students. Yeah, that should be it. Thanks.
Did you miss me? All right, this is our next to last door prize again, 800 multicolor zip ties and a 4-piece plier set. And I'm seeing a number 8736. Team number 8736. I don't see anybody jumping up. Okay, we will ship it to you. And our last but not least, another 800 zip ties. I heard some oohs and ahs. I'm guessing that's for the multimeter. Very nice multimeter. And a set of the L Torx keys as well. So let's see, winning number here is 6944. 6944 here. Woohoo, somebody jumped up. That looks good.
Let's give another round of applause to Automation Direct, Mr. Chip McDaniels. As you know, being teams, it takes a lot of people to invest in you, whether it's your sponsors, your mentors, your coaches, your parents, to make a team actually work. So we are very blessed and very lucky here in our state to have companies that come back year after year and invest in what we do so that we can put on all of our events. We're a little early. Yay, we love being early. The main broadcast from Big First for us to find out what the 2025 Reefscape game is all about will begin at noon. So we have about 10 minutes, but I think there's a little precursor bumper that we can go into. So hang tight, run to the bathroom if you need to, get ready for this kickoff so you're in your seat because you want to see this. So we will pop over to that as soon as it is available. And let's see what 2025 has in store. Thank you, everyone.
I really do think we are sort of kindred spirits. My goal is to reach as many brains as possible to get them stoked about science and engineering and education. You know, on the channel, we could tap a microphone and reach 400 million eyeballs a month. Kind of combining powers here to let more people know about FIRST and real learning in the trenches that can occur. That's where the learning happens. It's in the trenches. And you guys do that, I think, better than anyone.
With this season of FIRST, we're exploring beneath the surface and uncovering the potential in each of us to strengthen our community and innovate for a better world with healthy oceans. The ocean affects our weather, it provides food, it supports all living beings, and through great challenges, the strength of the ocean's biodiversity sustains it. Your adventure begins here with FIRST Dive, presented by Qualcomm.
FIRST is more than robots. The robots are a vehicle for students to learn important life skills. Kids often come in not knowing what to expect of the program nor of themselves. They leave, even after only one season, with a vision, with confidence, and with a sense that they can create their own futures.
You are dedicated to inspiring young people to change the world. We are the world's leading youth-serving nonprofit advancing STEM education. Together, we're a million-strong global robotics community of participants, volunteers, alumni, sponsors, donors, and supporters. Together, we're building a better world by preparing young people for the future. Your contributions make a direct impact on students in over 110 countries across the globe. Thank you, FIRST strategic partners and founding sponsors. Your strategic partnerships help us grow and sustain our movement, advancing our goal of making FIRST programs available and accessible to every kid, everywhere. Thank you, program sponsors. Your support helps break down barriers to provide more access to STEM programming, helping us reach more underrepresented communities. Thank you, FIRST suppliers. Your in-kind donations put professional tools into students' hands, so when they learn, they're developing critical industry skills and helping the next generation of innovators reach their goals. Thank you, FIRST Alliances. Your alliance partnerships provide valuable networks for career development for participants and volunteers worldwide under our shared FIRST core values. Discovery, innovation, impact, inclusion, teamwork, and fun. Thank you, FIRST scholarship providers. Your scholarships provide a path to pursue higher education in STEM for FIRST alumni. Thank you, FIRST donors, volunteers, mentors, coaches, educators, parents, alumni, and all who give their time and support. Your donations make transformative experiences possible for FIRST participants and inspire the next generation of leaders and innovators. Your volunteer hours give students direct access to community, mentorship, and inspiration, shining a bright light on all their possible paths forward. Your coaching helps FIRST participants develop skills in problem solving, teamwork, communication, and leadership. To all the organizations and individuals who help to advance our mission, together we are inspiring young people to find a sense of belonging and realize their own possibilities.
Today, the briny sea calls to our brilliant minds. Listen closely to her song. What do you hear? Journey with us into the depths of the unknown, where innovation meets the vast expanse of the ocean. Explore the beauty of underwater ecosystems, where every creature tells a story of resilience and adaptation. And here is where we leave you, brave adventurer, to begin.
Frank, they're back. What do you think they're doing?
Here, our intrepid explorers navigate with their cutting-edge contraptions, armed with nothing but determination and tools of unknown origin.
The reef has been looking livelier since they've started coming down.
Do you remember when one of them got tangled in the seaweed?
Whoa, there's more of them?
And so our underwater friends concluded their strange adventure, leaving us fish to wonder, What on earth will they think of next?
Welcome to the 2025 First Robotics Competition Season Kickoff as we dive into Reefscape, presented by Haas. I'm Blair from Ferst, and we are thrilled you're joining us. Whether from your living room, your team meeting space, by the ocean, or poolside, or at one of the 141 local kickoffs taking place around the world. And you're in good company as we have over 3,700 teams competing in this year's exciting challenge. This season, you'll be using your engineering skills to build robots to compete and strengthen a fragile underwater ecosystem. And it's all part of the ocean-themed season, First Dive, presented by Qualcomm. Qualcomm Incorporated is proud to partner with First to inspire students to make waves with your innovations and transform into confident leaders.
Hello, First Robotics competition teams, and welcome to Reefscape, part of the First Dive season presented by Qualcomm. I'm Vanita Kumar, Senior Vice President of Engineering at Qualcomm Technologies. The ocean is more than what you can see on the horizon. Beneath the surface lies our planet's most complex ecosystems. This season, you will use your teamwork and STEM skills to explore and strengthen those ecosystems. At Qualcomm, we are using the exact same skills every day to expand the horizon and push the boundaries of what is possible as we build intelligent, connected solutions. The skills you learn this season in First may seem like a tiny ripple, but you will help make waves in the future. So let's dive in. Good luck, teams.
A big thanks to Qualcomm. We're proud to partner with them for the First Dive season and grateful for their nearly 20 years of continued support. We are excited to once again partner with the Gene Haas Foundation, the presenting sponsor of Reefscape. Haas, a leader in CNC machining, understands that creativity, teamwork, and determination forge success. Shaping creations for land and sea, Haas recognizes the urgent global need for skilled manufacturing talent. Haas invests in participants like you, knowing the skills gained this season will powerfully prepare you for future STEM careers. A big thanks to Haas for their continued support. The First Robotics competition is a spirited, fun celebration no matter where it's held, be it Shanghai, Sao Paulo, Virginia Beach, or Vancouver. At each team meeting and competition, be sure to embody gracious professionalism, the principle that sets First apart in the world of competitive robotics. We should all take pride in upholding the legacy that Woody Flowers established and strive to nurture it going forward. The journey you're on with First is unique, challenging, and inspiring. You'll work hard and compete even harder. As the journey continues, a remarkable thread connects you to all who have come before and who will follow. Every student watching today will become a First alum. This means that you were once a student on a First team, and now having completed high school, you take the skills you developed through First into the next exciting phases of your life. You will join a global network of hundreds of thousands of First alumni, individuals who have not only learned but also lived the values of gracious professionalism and cooperation, values that shape how they approach their careers, their communities, and their everyday lives. You likely already know some of these incredible alumni. They may be your team mentors, guiding you and sharing their knowledge. Or they may be the event volunteers tirelessly working to make this program possible. They are living proof of FIRST's transformative power, carrying its lessons into everything they do. And soon, you will become part of this remarkable legacy. To help you make the most of it, check out the alumni page on the FIRST website. It offers a wealth of resources and opportunities to help you stay connected and thrive within this amazing community. But don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from one of those FIRST alumni. Baron is an award-winning co-founder of Deploy Tech, which created the world's first foldable concrete water tank as an affordable, sustainable, alternative water storage solution focusing on rural areas and disaster relief challenges. Here's Baron.
Hi, I'm Baron from Team 2905, the Sultans of Turkey. I was one of you 10 years ago, eager to dive into another challenging robotics season and anxious for the game reveal. Today, I'm leading my own technology company, making jigs and automating tasks, just like you're doing with your robots. We are making the world a better place, and finally, my autonomous spirit is working with high accuracy. To this day, in all my interviews, I always talk about one thing that truly shaped my journey: my time on the robotics team. Whether it was FIRST LEGO League or FIRST Robotics competition, those experiences laid the foundation for who I am today. I discovered my passion for problem solving through robotics. Fast forward to today, as we build Deploy Tech, I realized just how much of what I learned back then continues to guide me. Fundraising, finding sponsors, pitching our ideas, bootstrapping from scratch. These were skills FIRST had instilled in me years ago. With Deploy, we create social and environmental impact by providing easy access to water for vulnerable communities or disaster zones. And it's not just the technical skills that stayed with me. The ability to adapt to last-minute changes, to pull all-nighters when necessary, to tackle challenges as they come, and most importantly, to embrace core values like teamwork, integrity, and perseverance. Those late nights, those intense moments of figuring things out with my team weren't just about building robots. They were preparing me for today. This season's water theme is very meaningful to me and my career. There are more than 3 billion people who lack access to water. That is 1/3 of the world's population. Together as a community, we have the tools to tackle this problem, and I encourage you to join me in seeking solutions. Good luck with the season ahead, and see you all on the other side.
Baron's innovative spirit, leadership, and achievements are a great example of what FIRST alums are capable of, and they really are making the world a better place. The highest award in FIRST Robotics competition is the FIRST Impact Award, recognizing the team that best exemplifies a model for other teams and best embodies the mission of FIRST. Team 2486, the Coconuts, are the 2024 season winners, and recently, FIRST CEO Chris Moore visited them in Flagstaff, Arizona, and traveled to the Navajo Reservation to learn how such a small team can make such a big impact in their community.
Hello, Team Coconuts. I am so happy to be here with you in Flagstaff, Arizona today. You guys are amazing. You are the FIRST Impact Award winners. You are among thousands of teams from around the world and have been given an amazing award for your team's accomplishments and the inspiration that you provided. It's an honor to be here with you today. First of all, how does it feel to be the FIRST Impact Award winners?
It was surreal. It was like a dream. You know, for years we joked back and forth, wouldn't it be wonderful if we won this award, right? But ultimately, at the end of the day, it was never about the award. It was about inspiring our community. It was about adding to the world.
When the Coconuts was announced, I saw the pure joy and emotion, your mentors and coaches crying. And I remember at one point reaching over to Dean and saying, well, are they going to come down? You were overtaken with emotion, and rightfully so. This is our highest award. You're a small team, you're scrappy, yet you are doing amazing things in your community and as a team, and that's what I'm impressed the most by.
I never had an Indigenous STEM role model who looked like me, who talked my language. It was really hard to see myself in the STEM field. But after joining the Coconuts and being part of FIRST since 3rd grade, it made me believe that I can be in STEM, that STEM is for Indigenous people. I started a STEM fair called the Diné People Are the Future STEM Fair. I created it for my family who lives on Loop, Arizona, 45 minutes away from Flagstaff. There's only a gas station, 2 schools, and an abundance of low-income houses. And now this STEM fair is continuing its impact beyond my time on the team. I would like for you to join us at the STEM fair.
As you just touched on, FIRST is about creating equitable access to STEM in communities around not only the country, but around the world. How have you personally been affected by having won the award?
I was never a part of any extracurriculars before, and so when I joined this team, it was suddenly being around like-minded people and being a part of something bigger than just myself. And what it really feels like is just a big hug, and it's just joy, and it's fun, and it's changing the world.
Before joining the Coconuts, I never thought of myself as able to do anything with STEM. I thought that I wasn't the right person for it, and I thought it'd be too hard. After joining the team and winning the Impact Award at Worlds, I was able to see that not only can I do that myself, but I can help others. And I'm even showing that now by mentoring a FIRST LEGO League team here in Flagstaff.
I've seen the Coconuts in our community ever since I was like 5 years old. Just seeing it has been really impactful to me because once I've joined the Coconuts, knowing that I've impacted people indirectly and directly, it's just been a really great opportunity. And it's also given me the opportunity to pursue my passions. And I've actually created a children's book with Rihanna. And so being able to like spread STEM in a way that I'm passionate about has just been really great.
So before high school, I didn't have a community. I didn't have anybody. I was shy. I was introverted. And I stepped into Miss Sapio's classroom and she told me, hey, I think you'd be a really great fit here. I found my second family, and they encouraged me and they supported me through my dreams. And they encouraged me to go to legislature and to talk to legislators in Washington, D.C. to create opportunities here at home for students. Without them, I don't know where I'd be. Without FIRST, I don't know who I would be.
The robot is the vehicle to get the student to join the team. It's the thing that takes place during their time on the team that really matters with the volunteering.
Everything I've heard here today validates why the Coconuts won the 2024 Impact Award. You talked about belonging. You talked about being part of a community. And when you think about it, that's why FIRST exists. We don't exist to teach students like yourselves how to build robots. Yeah, that's part of it. But FIRST exists to inspire you and to prepare you for life. And that's exactly what you're doing, and that's exactly what FIRST has done for the past 35 years. I am so inspired by you. Thank you so much for having me here today. Now, I know that we're going to be going to the STEM fair. You mentioned that earlier. Are you ready to go, nuts? All right, let's go.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town.
This hardworking team's passion, camaraderie, and commitment to making a difference propelled them to the top this past season. It's no surprise the Coconuts earned such well-deserved recognition. Good luck on your team's quest to win the prestigious FIRST Impact Award this season. Okay, we're nearly ready to unveil this year's challenge, but first, let's have a little fun. Dean Kamen, the founder of Ferst, recently visited another renowned engineer who was presented with a Founders Award at the 2024 championship. This award recipient's mission aligns closely with Ferst, and he has been instrumental in helping to amplify the Ferst message. Let's check in with Dean and Mark Rober at Crunch Labs in the San Francisco Bay Area before unveiling the Reefscape Challenge.
Is this Crunch Labs?
Hello, Dean, and welcome to Crunch Labs. Look at this. It's the Founders Award on prominent display, keeping time like a charm, down to the minute, by the way. It's been an honor to host it this whole time in Crunch Labs.
I see I brought you a beautiful timepiece. I didn't think you were going to put it in a time warp. I'm hoping something magical is going to happen here, and you're going to show me Crunch Labs isn't quite this shabby little place.
If it's magic you want, Dean, it's magic we deliver here.
Wow, it is magic.
Welcome to Crunch Labs. Let's go. I think you'll appreciate this. The infinite slinky machine. How many patents do you have?
I and my company have about 7,000.
Yeah, I've got like 2. It's a bit of a show off. Here's the world's largest Nerf gun. We also did the world's smallest Nerf gun. We actually don't have the camera set up, so you just have to rely on your own abilities.
Not a problem.
Wow.
F equals MA, what's the big deal?
Who is this guy? This here's my buddy Rocky. Rocky is really good at one thing and only one thing, and that's playing rock, paper, scissors.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, scissors meets paper.
You put a context around technology. It not only demystifies it, it gives kids a reason to understand the power of it.
This is an example of what we call hide the vegetables, right? Where it's like you build something that's really interesting, like a robot that never loses rock, paper, scissors, and then we teach the engineering principles behind how it actually works. That's why we created Hack Packs. So basically a robot that comes to your porch every month, you put it together, but it's powered by a microcontroller. So out of the box, it'll work with no programming, but you can swap out the brain to level it up to do really cool things.
The kids that are playing in the First community are dealing with almost identical situations. Exciting technologies with some open-ended opportunities to learn and fail, then learn a little more, then fail a little less until finally they get the gratification of saying, I not only built it, I understand what I have, and I'm proud of what I know.
Well, I'm certainly intrigued. I think our missions are totally aligned. You know, we're both providing tools for kids and the future leaders of the world to think like engineers. And speaking of tools, I want to show you my workbench.
I'd love to see it.
This is my actual original workbench. It was in my backyard, and it just goes to show, I mean, these aren't fancy tools. This is what I started all the builds with. We got all these buttons from the World Championship. It's a good sound. 10 million subscribers on YouTube.
Wow, beautiful.
The diamond play button. We're on our way to 100 million.
Beautiful.
Glitter from the glitter bomb and the fart spray from the glitter bomb. You want to try it?
Is this sulfur?
It's worse. I'm so sorry, but that's why you don't steal packages, folks.
Oh.
Ew, I smell it.
And of course, here we have the mega turret.
You brought this to our championship last year in Houston. You stole the show. It was fantastic.
This is true. The theme this year, of course, is water.
Yes, it is.
And Dean, you've done some projects with water, right?
Water is critical to health around the world. It's critical to a lot of the projects I do.
And I did Team C's with Mr. Beast and a bunch of other creators where we raised $30 million, removed 30 million pounds of trash and plastic from the oceans. And speaking of water, we've got a big tank of water here, Dean.
And it's cold.
And I'm fully clothed.
If I can hit that target and I don't miss.
I know, Dean. I know.
At that moment, we will reveal this year's game. Are you ready?
Are you ever ready to be dunked fully clothed, Dean?
I'll take that as a yes.
Oh! Apparently sometimes you miss, Dean.
Not a chance.
It's not the suspense I want! Oh, no! Oh, that was a close one. Oh! Woo! All right, Dean, you've only got one shot left.
That's all I need.
I propose if you miss this, we just skip it for this year.
Here we go. Wow!
Wow, that's cold. Why did I agree to this? Dean, 3,
2, 1, Reefscape!
Welcome to the 2025 FIRST Robotics competition game, Reefscape, presented by Haas. 2 alliances of 3 teams each compete to earn points by harvesting algae, seeding coral on their reef, and returning to their barge to ascend to the ocean's surface. Alliances earn additional rewards for meeting specific scoring thresholds and for cooperating with their opponents. Prior to the start of the match, teams can choose to hang a shallow cage or a deep cage on their barge. Robots start each match at their starting line and may be preloaded with 1 coral. During the first 15 seconds of the match, robots are autonomous and can be programmed to leave the starting line, remove algae from their reef, and place coral on their reef. If all enabled robots on an alliance leave the starting line and score at least 1 coral in auto, the alliance earns the auto ranking point. During the following 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the match, drivers control their robot. Robots can place algae in their net and collect coral from human players at their coral station to place on their reef. Coral placed higher on the reef are worth more points. If an alliance can score enough coral on all 4 levels, they will earn an additional ranking point. Robots can also deliver algae to their processor. Once processed, the algae can be taken by the opposing human player and scored into the net. When 2 algae are delivered to each processor, both alliances earn a co-op point. The co-op point reduces the number of coral needed on the reef to earn the ranking point and influences a team's rank in the tournament. As time runs out, robots race back to their barge to hang on their cage and ascend to the ocean surface. Points are awarded to robots that can hang on a shallow cage, and even more points are awarded to robots that can hang on a deep cage. An alliance that scores enough barge points will earn the barge ranking point. The alliance that earns the most points overall wins the match.
Getting ready for showtime, for showtime.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Reefscape presented by Haas. We are ready to dive into this year's game, and I can't wait to show you around the field a little bit. Before we begin, I want to thank some of our sponsors who help make FIRST happen every season. Thank you to Qualcomm for continuing to be our season sponsor across all FIRST programs. And thank you to the Gene Haas Foundation for once again sponsoring the FIRST Robotics competition game. I also want to shout out a few of the companies that are strategic partners and provide significant in-kind support to FIRST. Thanks to Rockwell Automation for providing the automation equipment on the playing fields. And thanks to NI for donating the Robo Rio to all of our new teams. I want to recognize the more than 300 new teams who joined FIRST Robotics competition this year, including 30 teams who are returning from a year or more off. A huge thanks to NASA and the Argosy Foundation for funding grants aimed at helping make these new teams sustainable members of the FIRST community. And thank you to all of the donors, from the largest companies to small businesses and individual donors who support FIRST and FIRST teams every season with sponsorship and volunteers. We really couldn't do it without you. There's another group of people that we also couldn't do this without, the thousands of team mentors. FIRST programs have impact because of caring adult mentors and coaches working side by side with youth participants. The mentors on my team in high school had an immeasurable impact on my life. FIRST works because of you. You are what helped make FIRST more than robots. Thank you for all that you do and for the impact that you'll have over the next weeks and months. Let's talk about the kit of parts. The kit of parts is more than just what comes in the totes you'll soon receive. The second round of First Choice opens today, so make sure that you check that out. There are also vouchers available for your team to use to get donated parts and software. Check out the Kit of Parts webpage for more details on both of those. There's also a booklet in the season-specific box that has information on some of the items in the virtual kit.
Safety is paramount when participating in FIRST programs. Coaches, if you've not yet taken the time to discuss youth safety as a team, please do that this week. There are resources on how to get started with that conversation on the Youth Protection webpage. And remember, the FIRST Code of Conduct applies to all FIRST activities, including online communication. The KitBot is back. If your team chose to receive the black tote and drive base, you'll just need a few other basic materials to build the KitBot. The goal is that this robot is a starting point for you, not an ending point. The robot can and should be modified and added onto to meet your team's strategy. And we have resources available to help you build the robot. Guided build videos, written instructions, and sample code are all available on the KitBot webpage. There's even a guide to help you iterate on the KitBot. You saw a bit of the KitBot in the game animation. You can program this year's KitBot to leave the starting zone in autonomous and score coral on the reef. In teleoperated mode, the KitBot can retrieve coral from the coral station and score it on the reef. Remember, the KitBot is a starting point and is designed for you to iterate on to make it even better. We've made changes to the bumper rules. We think these changes will make bumpers easier to build and better protect the robots and the playing field. Be sure to pay extra attention to that section of the game manual. We've also made changes to alliance selection and how teams advance from regional events to the FIRST Championship. And we're piloting shorter regional events. More information on all the changes are in the FIRST Robotics Competition blog. Up next, we've got a few members of the game design team who will talk about the field in a bit more detail. Then we'll release the code to decrypt the manual. After that, we'll run field tour videos to give you more information about how various aspects of the field function. Good luck to our more than 3,700 teams participating this season. I'll see you at the FIRST Championship in Houston. And now, over to Fiona and Liz for more about the field.
Thanks, Colin. I'm here at the Coral Station. There are 2 coral stations per alliance. Human players deliver coral to their robots in both the teleoperated and autonomous periods. From there, robots can take the coral and score them on the reef. Fiona, tell us more about the reef.
Thanks, Liz. The reef is where all the action's gonna be. There's one for the Red Alliance and one for the Blue Alliance, and teams are gonna have to take those corals and orient them in different ways to score them on one of 4 levels. After that, teams will also have to remove the algae and then score them in another location. Liz, why don't you talk about that?
Thanks, Fiona. I'm here at the processor. Teams will attempt to score algae into the processor. Once each alliance scores 2 algae, they will achieve the cooperation bonus. From there, human players can take the algae and score them into the barge. Fiona, tell us more about the barge.
Sure thing. The barge spans the entire field. There's a blue half and a red half, and teams are gonna have to get the robots off the ground onto one of these cages. We've got the shallow cage here or the deep cage. And these swing around, so robots are gonna have to figure out the right geometry. Liz, let us know about the net.
Sure. On top of the barge is the net. Human players can score algae into the net, but so can the robots. Nice shot, Fiona.
Thanks, Liz. I think it's time to unlock the game manual.
I think so. Teams, have a great season. Hi, I'm Liz.
And I'm Fiona. This video covers the Alliance area. This is the area behind the Alliance wall, and it's where 3 drive teams from each Alliance control their robots and play the game.
Each of the 3 driver stations has a shelf for the team's operator console. On the shelf is a strip of loop tape for teams to utilize. We highly recommend that all teams add hook tape to the bottom of their operator console to help prevent it from sliding off the shelf as robots hit the wall.
The FIRST design fields used for most regional events, some districts, and at the FIRST Championship will have an upgrade this season. New shelf clips help ensure the shelf stays in place for the safety of teams and their operator consoles. Some fields are a different style and will not have or need the clips.
We wanted to make teams aware of these new clips and make sure their operator console fits on the shelf, engages with the hook tape, and aligns with all the requirements noted in the manual.
Every driver station is equipped with an Ethernet cable which connects your computer to the field management system. There's also an AC outlet with a 2-amp fuse in case your operator console needs power.
Also on the driver station is an E-stop and an A-stop. The E-stop button lets you disable your robot during a match. If the E-stop is pressed, your robot will be disabled for the rest of the match. When pressed, the button will stay in the down position and the amber light in the driver station will illuminate. The A-stop lets you disable your robot in auto, but not for the whole match like the E-stop. If the A-stop is pressed, your robot will remain disabled for the rest of auto, but will be re-enabled for the teleop. When the A-stop is pushed, the amber light in the driver station blinks.
Stack lights at the top of each driver station relay quick diagnostic information to teams and field crew. Check out the game manual for full details. Shout out to Rockwell Automation for donating the E-stops, A-stops, the stack lights, and for powering the station control cabinets.
Above each driver station is a team sign. The front of the team sign faces the field and displays your team number and the state of the field. Remember, you can only enter the field if deemed safe for humans, which will be indicated when the team signs are green and say safe.
The back of the team signs relay information during the match, including match time, score, and progress to the Coral ranking point.
And there's also a match timer in driver station 2. The back of the match timer shows a more detailed breakdown of progress towards the Coral ranking point by level.
There'll be a ramp available at most events for individuals with limited mobility. Teams can talk to the FTA at their event to inquire about it.
Good luck, and we'll see you at the competition.
Bonne chance et à bientôt en compétition. Hi, I'm Fiona.
And I'm Liz. This video covers the goal known as the reef.
There are 2 reefs on the field, one for the Red Alliance and one for the Blue Alliance. The reef is where robots can retrieve the algae and score coral while protected.
Coral can be scored on the reef from all 6 sides and at 4 distinct levels: Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, and Level 4. At several of the levels, coral will need to be placed in a unique orientation.
At Level 1, or L1, robots place the coral in a trough-like structure. While coral orientation is not critical to score in L1, you may want to be mindful of placement to leave the most space for future game pieces to be added. All 6 sides of the reef share a single L1 trough that is continuous around the structure.
The height of the base is approximately 18 inches tall and is sloped towards the outside of the reef. Notice that when a coral is placed into L1, it rolls away from the center. If you want to maximize the number of game pieces in this level, you will likely need to place the next game piece higher and further away from your robot, or push the other one out of the way.
Coral can be scored on levels 2, 3, and 4 by placing them on these purple pipes called branches. Notice that coral scored at L2 and L3 are angled, and coral scored on L4 are vertical. At the tallest point, L2 and L3 are roughly 32 inches and 48 inches from the ground, respectively. L4 is approximately 72 inches off the ground. Be sure to look at the game manual for specifics on these dimensions. Teams should be aware that the tip of the branches are recessed at different dimensions from the base and should take this into account while designing their robot.
The reef has an April tag on its base structure attached to the front of L1. Teams will need to be intentional with camera placement to best utilize these April tags. See the field layout and markings diagram for exact dimensions and details.
To start the match, the reef will have 6 algae placed on the branches, with 1 on every face. See the game manual for exact details on how the field is reset between matches. Coral scored on the reef will not be counted if they are touching a robot or an algae at the end of the match. So make sure to clear the algae off the reef before scoring too close to them.
Both the quantity and location where the coral is scored on the reef will determine whether teams achieve the coral ranking point. Teams should familiarize themselves with the ranking point system in Reefscape. Details on how to earn ranking points in the match can be found in our Alliance Station field tour video and in the manual.
Good luck, and we'll see you at the competition.
Mucha suerte y nos vemos en la competencia.
Hi, I'm Fiona.
And I'm Liz. This video covers the Coral Station, where robots retrieve coral from their human players.
There are 2 coral stations per alliance on the field. They are located on each side of the alliance wall.
On the field side, there's an opening that allows the human player to pass coral onto the field safely. Coral slides out from a chute that is sloped at a 35-degree angle from the floor. Coral exits the chute at a little over 3 feet off the ground and can end up in a robot or on the floor.
An alliance's human player gives coral to the robots by feeding them into the chute from this side. The chute has slots cut into it to help guide the coral while sliding down in this orientation. But there's also a top opening to allow coral to be entered in this orientation.
There's a step stool available at events for human players who want something to stand on when placing game pieces into the field.
Human players at the coral station should be aware of these kickstands and the coral holder when moving about the area. Each human player station will be staged with half of the coral and any unused preloads.
You may notice that there are no safe zones in front of the coral stations. Teams may want to consider the possibility of having an opponent robot defending them while trying to collect coral.
Robots can also use the April tag mounted on the field side of the coral station wall for field orientation and targeting. See the field layout and markings diagram for exact dimensions and details.
Good luck, and we'll see you at the competition.
祝大家好运，我们比赛见。
Hi, I'm Liz.
And I'm Fiona. We're here to show you the barge. The barge is where alliances can score algae and robots can climb at the end of the match.
The barge is made out of truss and spans the center of the field. It includes 6 cages and 2 nets and has a red side and a blue side.
The cages are located approximately a quarter, a half, and 3/4 of the distance between the edge and the center of the field. Make sure to check the game manual for specific dimensions.
Before the match begins, teams are able to select if the cage associated with their driver station will be a shallow cage or a deep cage. Teams must alert the field staff during field reset if they want the height of the cage adjusted, as the default is to leave them in the same state from the last match.
When climbing, teams should be aware that they can't touch the top of the cage, chain, or accompanying hardware. Pay close attention to the game manual on what a legal climb is.
Oh, good point. Climbing on the deep cage might not be as easy as it seems.
That's right. Teams should be mindful of the cage dynamics, especially when they swing as they design their robot to get their center of gravity and packaging right. It may be a little tricky.
These cages are a real challenge. Let's look at what happens when robots interact with them and how much they swing.
Good idea. First, let's look at the shallow cage. Shallow cages are approximately 2.5 feet off the ground and are intended to be a height where some robots can drive right underneath them if they choose. Teams will have to look closely at the exact dimensions if they want to design their robot to be able to fit underneath these.
If a robot does hit this as they are coming through, it will move around and swing. So teams should be prepared to handle this if they want to climb.
Now we'll show a deep cage. Deep cages are only a few inches off the ground and are attached to the barge with a chain. Robots are not going to be able to fit under this one.
If a robot hits this cage, it is going to move around much more than the shallow cage, though it may be worth the challenge. Deep cages are worth more points if your team can figure out how to get off the ground while using this cage.
The other thing teams should be aware of is that once a cage is hit and swinging around, they can continue moving for a while.
Teams should be careful as they navigate the barge to avoid damaging their robot or an alliance partner's robot.
From your own side of the field, robots should be able to see 2 April tags on the barge, one centered on your net and one on the opponent's. They're angled down to help make it easier for teams to see them. See the field layout and markings diagram for exact dimensions and details.
The barge also contains the nets, which is where the human players and robots can score algae. Each alliance has a net and earns additional points for the total number of algae scored throughout the match.
Robots can score algae directly into the net once they are acquired. Be sure to watch the Reef video for more details.
Human players can score algae if an opposing alliance's robot passes them an algae through the processor. Be sure to watch the processor video for more info.
Alliances will want to work together and use the processors because if each alliance uses it 2 times, both alliances achieve cooperation. The barge will light up to show progress towards an achievement of cooperation.
Good luck, and we'll see you at the competition.
Behat slacha venire echem bata charut. Hi, I'm Fiona.
And I'm Liz. We're here to show you the processor. The processor is where robots score algae and give that algae to the other alliance's human player.
The algae are bouncy, so teams may want to design to make sure the algae doesn't bounce out of the processor as they drive away. Robots can score algae by entering it into the opening of the processor on the field side. The opening is about 1.5 feet tall, a little over 2 feet wide, and is about 7 inches off the ground.
Teams should also be aware that the algae surface makes them a little sticky, so relying on using just your bumpers to push them may be more difficult than it appears.
If at least 2 algae are scored in each processor, the alliances achieve co-op. The progress towards co-op in a qualification match can be seen with the lights in the barge. Be sure to watch the barge video for details about the lights. Teams should also see the game manual for more details about how co-op affects the match scores and rankings.
Once an algae has passed through the counting sensors and is in the corral, the human players stationed behind the processor can attempt to score the algae into the barge. Nice. There are also some slots on top of the processor to store any algae for later use.
There is an April tag centered on the top of the processor to assist robots with field orientation and targeting. See the field layout and markings diagram for exact dimensions and details.
Lastly, while there are fences to separate the humans and the robots, human players in the processor area need to be aware of robots nearby. Always be sure to position yourself with safety in mind.
Good luck, and we'll see you at the competition.
Bol şanslar ve turnuvalarda görüşmek üzere.
All right. Hello, everybody, again. Thanks for coming out. Soon, the kit of parts pickup will be up on the screen. You can follow that to the back of the building to pick up your kit of parts. Yeah, if you have any questions from RoboJackets, go to our website. Thanks.